This essay will be looking at the final tower scene in Vertigo, directed by Alfred Hitchcock. This film came out in 1958. At first, it wasn't very popular, but now it's considered as one of the most greatest film ever made. Hitchcock is known for his style of exploring themes like obsession, control, and identity. In this essay, I will be using psychoanalytic theory to show how the scenes from the tower represents trauma and desire of Scotty, and how repetition of camera movement is used in this film. Vertigo is a real condition where a person feels dizzy or feels like the world is spinning, especially when they're looking down from a height, so it's kind of like fear of height. In this film, the main character, Scotty, suffers from the vertigo and a fear of heights after the police chase. And Hitchcock shows this using a visual camera effect called the dolly zoom, where the camera moves while zooming and making the space very distorted. And this effect helps us feel how the main character is feeling, and it emphasizes the fear and the trauma of Scotty. And then it shows that his problem is not only physical and also mental, and as well as psychological. In this scene, the camera movement helps show Scotty's emotions and the control over the girl. As they climb up the tower, the camera often moves with them, which is using the tracking shot, and this creates the tension and makes the scene feel more controlled and very uncomfortable. And whenever Scotty looks down, the dolly zoom effect appears again, which is the repetition in this section, and we are reminded of Vertigo's fear. At the same time, Scotty is controlling Judy. He tells her to go wherever he is telling her to go, and this shows his obsession and the dominance. He is trying to turn Judy back to the woman. And then from the psychoanalytic perspective, Judy becomes more like an object instead of a person, and this is how he fulfills his desire. The camera movement and the facial expressions throughout the movie is very important, and especially in this final scene. As they're climbing up the stairs, the camera follows them, which is the tracking shot, builds the tension, and sometimes we see a close-up of the actors' faces. Scotty's face often looks very tense and focused, and we sometimes see his sweat. And his eyes is always open super wide, and then he always just looks very desperate, and he just looks like a controlling, dominant male. While Judy's face is very difficult to interpret. She always just looks super scared, like a little animal, and her emotions, it's kind of hard to tell because she has two identities. Her eyes are often looking down and away, avoiding direct eye contact with Scotty, which shows her hesitation and avoidance. Her expression shows that she doesn't want to continue this entire event. He wants to escape this man, but she is being pushed and she cannot escape this control because she is weak. And these facial expressions definitely tells a lot of the connection between the two characters and the power dynamic between them, of Scotty's control while Judy is super vulnerable. A scholar that I found is the film theorist Laura Melvey. She explained that women in cinema are often shown as an object of male desire, which is another type of male gaze. And in this scene, Judy is treated this way. Scotty is not giving her respect at all, which is, I feel like it's very common in that year. And Scotty does not see her as herself rather than like a object.
I heard voices.
At the end of the scene, Judy suddenly falls and dies, just like before, where it's being mirrored. And this shows that Scotty's attempt to fix the past has failed, because he was trying to make Judy back to the girl. And Judy's death repeats the earlier event, which shows nothing that really changed. So all that Scotty has been working on is actually just his internal hallucination. And this moment also shows that Scotty's fantasy cannot survive. And his desire leads to destruction of his mind. In conclusion of all the explanation above, the final scene of Vertigo shows how trauma and desire are mirrored and repeated from the early event, then rather resolving his fears. Through camera movement like tracking shot, especially also the dolly zoom and the repetition events, Alfred Hitchcock shows that Scotty is trapped in his own obsession. Again, this highlights his filming habit of just showing the desire. And the film suggests that trying to control the past or recreate it will only be worse.